What's up? It's your boy Tay Speaks.
What's poppin'? It's your girl J Money, the Soul Pleaser.
And it's your boy D Norvell. And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Juice 901 Podcast. As always, thank y'all for rocking with us. Thank you for tuning in to another episode, because you could be doing anything with your time, but you're deciding to spend a little bit of time with us, right?
For sure. And
right.
hold up. Special guest alert. You
Okay.
feel me? Special guest alert.
Okay.
Special guest alert.
Okay.
I'm gonna let her pop her big business. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So in 1, 2, 3, I want you to tell people who you are, where you from, and what you do. 1, 2, Tris.
My name is Theryn C, aka PoliticalBarbie, the coldest political commentator, campaign strategist, campaign manager, award-winning, history-making one out there.
Okay.
That was a lot.
I like that.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
We're going to have to rewind that back. When we
The
do
political
editing.
Barbie.
Yes.
Okay, that's all I remember.
I mean, it's on the website, it's on socials. Have you get your news? It's there.
Because she everywhere. You might see her in Kroger. You might see her on TV. You might see her in DC. You never know, right?
All the places.
Let's get it, man. Busy schedule, but we happy you took the time to talk to us today. And
I take the juice everywhere I go.
come on now.
Come on
Oh,
now.
man. Hey, can we...
Stamp that and then put that in. We use that for promo. But now, man, I want to get into this segment. How you really feeling?
Yeah.
I want to talk about how you really feeling. So, how you really feeling is a segment where you meet somebody and it's like, or you pass somebody they be like, "How you doing?" "I'm good." How you doing? But they not really doing good because people don't really want to know how you feeling. If you really tell them how you feeling, they're gonna be like, "Bro, I did not want to know all that."
But we do.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's different.
So we want to know how you really feeling. We just take the time to. That throw me off every time. I just want to take the time to see you, check the temperature, make sure everybody good mentally before we get into some conversation.
Okay.
So how you feeling?
You know what? I am blessed, highly favored, and grateful to be booked and busy. Like, if booked and busy was a place in the dictionary, put my face next to it. This was not on my bingo card. Like, I lost my mom and my grandfather in the same week in January. It's almost been a year. This has been a long 2024. It seemed like it's about 3 years wrapped up into one. But now I'm doing exactly what I said I wanted to do. I want to talk about politics on TV and make it understandable and digestible. So I'm happy to be doing it. It's stressful though. Them conservative folks stress me out. You hear me? But it's cool though.
But when you built for it, it's different.
Yeah, I feel that.
Like everything gonna be hard, but if you built for it, it's gonna make it a little bit easier. It's gonna give you the patience that you need to be persistent.
Absolutely. That's I tell people all the time, I cuss offline so much because I can't do it on TV. But
And that's understandable.
You gotta let it out somewhere,
Right.
I do.
or else you're gonna do it on TV and it's gonna be live
Not
too.
never. Oh, I would never. You'll never kid. I'm too
Let
cool
me
for that.
tell
I'm
you
too
about-
smooth for that. I'm too smooth for that.
Let it happen. I'm gonna be like, remember that you said what's today? October. I be forgetting the dates. What's the date?
It's October. Wait, let me look at my phone. It's October 21st.
10/21/24.
Yeah.
Give me this. That was the second suit. 10/21/24. You said you don't curse on TV.
I don't.
I ain't gonna hold it against you, but I'm gonna laugh at you if it happens.
Facebook Live don't count. Instagram Live
Nah,
don't
she
count.
don't- that's
Live
not
on
TV.
socials
That's
don't
TV.
count.
TV.
No,
Now she wanna throw the
TV is
extra
like
rules.
a network. Like, you put that joint on, you click, and there it is.
I click my Facebook on all the time,
We
and
on
I
True
just hit the
Social.
lot.
It ain't a lot of truth on there, but ooh, okay. Okay.
That would actually be crazy.
But tell you how you feeling.
Man, I'm feeling good. Way better than I was feeling. I'm going through the same thing that you went through. I saw your post about your mom and all that.
Yeah.
It's a long process. It's not really a set date on it. But I'm feeling better this week. Looking forward to homecoming.
Oh man.
So I'm looking forward. You supposed to perform, but you didn't. But
Here's what it is. It wasn't my time to do that, man. They say every
actually glad you
birds
didn't,
migrate on purpose, and every season comes when it's time for that season to come.
What are you, 87? Where you
I'm
pouring that from?
I'm 70 and a 24-year-old body. I'm not even 24.
We know.
But I'm kind of, it's funny that we're talking about, because I'm going through the same thing with loss and all of that actually this week. And it's just good when you're able to, have conversations like this and actually talk to people and see when people are asking you, how are you doing in passing, but they actually care about how is your mental state, how are you doing? And I don't know, sometimes it's best to just let it out, and just talk through your emotions, because I feel like a lot of Black people, especially, we hold it in, and we shy away from the vulnerableness of emotion, right? And just being in a space where you feel safe, I think, is important. So yeah, I'm good though. Good.
Well, nobody asked me how I was doing.
How you doing, Jay?
Okay. I'm actually doing okay. Just, life, like I always say, is an ongoing journey. So you always going through stuff and you just got to keep picking yourself back up. But that's really about it for me. And just want to go into, let's get to know you just a little bit. We got a few questions for you.
Okay.
So for the viewers, tell them, because you're a force to be reckoned with. Like, you out here in the community for real. So I want the viewers to know actually what you do. So if they need to find answers, or they need to find someone like you, or they need to come to you for anything, I want them to be able to be like, yeah, that's the person that I need to watch.
Oh. Wow. What I don't do is get a lot of sleep. That's for real.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I do a lot of listening, and I do a lot of reading. In the line of work that I do now, especially on the commentating side and the strategy, I don't just listen to like my peanut gallery and my echo chamber. I actually probably listen and read more to people who think and do opposite of me.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the only way to figure them out and figure out how to outdo them, is to understand how they operate. I guess what I do is with the intent to improve my community. So everything is to inform and improve. So either I'm trying to improve the world around me, help other people improve whatever they are into, and to inform them about things that maybe they are hesitant to talk about, or maybe be honest about, whether that's politically, things adjacent to politics, daily life, wanting to be in the media, reproductive justice, whatever their thing is. I've done a lot in a lot of different spaces. And now they kind of all marry each other. It's so many times where I see my media career, my political career, my nonprofit, and all them jokers rolled up into one. I would say if people want to find me, I could be real shallow and be like, baby, just turn on the TV. But realistically, I get a lot of people who will find me on my personal website, which is PoliticalBarbie.com. That speaks a lot to my messaging, some of the things that I've done in the community. When it's revamped soon, it'll also have like some of my commentating videos and clips and stuff like that. But I started a strategy firm so that I could help people in a bigger way. It was completely not my idea. Like, shout out to my homegirl 21. If she's seeing it, she know what that means. Like, that's what we do. Like, that's our signal to each other. Like, hey, we gonna help each other out. We getting through things. So when she see 21, we know like something good that came out of what she definitely helped me to do. So she saw something in me that I was running from, and she helped me formalize my business. And the website is almost done. It's gonna be released before a big thing I have in a couple of weeks. So I would say that's another way. But I'm on social media. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Snapchat. I'm on Twitter, because you'll never hear me call the X. The only X I recognize is Malcolm X. But people reach out to me, like they send me private messages, or they get my contact form on my website. Some people are real nasty, that's they little funky opinion. And some people are just say, hey, keep doing what you're doing. Hey, I think differently than you, but the way you break it down is a way that I and people that are friends and neighbors of mine can understand. And so that's what it's about, is bringing more people into the fold.
And that's what I was actually just gonna say. Like, just thank you so much for being somebody that looks like us and having a voice, because political wise, a lot of people of our color, they don't really know how to get into it. They don't really know how to understand it. They don't know where to start. And I just feel like you give us that reason to start. You know what I'm saying? So just thank you. I really appreciate that.
Thank you. Yeah, I tell people all the time, I can't convince everybody to run, but I can convince you if you want to run or not. I can convince you to understand what your place may be in this, whether that's you want to be appointed, you want to be an elected official, you want to be a campaign staffer. I can have an hour to 2 hour conversation with you, and how we break things down, you will know yourself how you fit into that space. I got a pretty good track record of that, and it don't matter who it is.
She said, check the stats. Check the stats.
Check the scoreboard.
I know what's up. Well, you know that this election season has been like tense. It's been up, it's been down. I mean, it's been nasty, you know, it's been funny at times. But I guess for everybody who's out there, if y'all haven't researched our platform and looked and see, you know, the kind of questions, she asks a lot of thought-provoking questions on her social media. And I went and pulled some of those questions, so I want to talk about them. And just to see
how far back you go.
Oh, no, recent. Fairly recent. I went far back. But, you know, I just have a couple questions. And I'm just curious of what your thought is on how these work. Okay. So on one of your posts, you asked, how would you describe the voter base for the Democratic and Republican parties? And do you think that each party properly engages that voter base? It's one of the questions you just asked. So I'm curious of how would you define that? How do you think their voter base is?
You know what? And this exact question is probably why people from the DNC are creeping on my LinkedIn at this very moment. And it's why I re-engaged their premiums just so I could see it. But they gonna call me one day like so many others. So I think, first of all, there are parties outside of just Democrat and Republican. Mm-hmm. You know, most people understand Democrat, Republican, but there's also Libertarian, there's Green Party, there's Working Family Party, there's Democratic Socialist. Depending on where you are in the world, some are more recognized than others. And right now, the way the ballot access system is set up is Democrat, Republican. And you also have independents. So like in the state of Arizona, you can register as an independent. It'll show up on your ballot, etc. In Tennessee, it's considered third party. And so they don't necessarily have a primary. They shoot straight to the general. But Democrats, the thing that they struggle with is messaging.
I agree.
Real bad.
That's a fact.
It's like, at first I used to think maybe they just don't know what to do. And I think now it's more they know what to do and they just choose not to. They know what to say that will engage people. They know what will bring more people into the fold. They know what young people want to hear. They know what elders want to hear. They know what Black voters, white voters, Asian voters, Muslim voters want to hear. But in some regard, they just refuse. And it's really unfortunate because they speak less to the voter bases that hold them up and speak more to try to not get crossover voters, but stick to more the establishment type of way. And times are changing. And it seems that at the most senior levels, they are more willing to double down and stand their ground and say, we gonna keep the old way and just assume the vote versus listening, speaking, and making necessary adjustments. And it is going to hurt them this election cycle significantly. And I'm not just talking about the presidency. I'm talking about in U.S. Senate races. I'm talking about in gubernatorial races, state house or state legislative district, depending on where you live, state Senate. Like, it's going to hurt us up and down the ballot because people are saying, here's what I want to hear. Here's what I want you to do. And it's like they're saying, okay, now moving on. And people are going to move on from those names on the ballot.
They're still playing by the old playbook.
Absolutely. And I think there are some things to be said about what worked in the past, but you have to be able to amend them and adopt them to a 2024 version.
Because, and I don't rock with the man at all, but
sure.
the reality is he showed people something else. He showed people another way to Donald Trump.
Oh, so let's go there, right? Mm-hmm. So now, first of all, many, many years ago, Black folks used to be Republican.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
And Donald Trump himself used to be a Democrat. He say, I ain't never looked at his voting record, but that's what he say. There are a lot of people that will support that. But here's the thing. You may not like Donald Trump. You may think he is crazy. You may think he looked like a ball of peach fuzz. You may think he is a bigot, racist, and very misogynistic. But you know what he does? He play to win. I can respect somebody who is willing to do what it takes to get where they want to go and at least appear to listen to people. Now, do he say some stuff out the while? And I'm like, hey, man, you playing it too close for me every single day of the week. But what does he do? He's getting people's attention. People are talking about him more, even if it's something negative. His name remains in the media because he knows how to play the media game well. He knows how to engage people well. And he knows, oh, I'm going to say this and they're not going to like it. Absolutely. But we're going to talk about it. And half the battle when you get ready to vote is getting somebody's attention. You got to get their attention first before you start describing issues to them. And then in turn, finding out how they feel about it. And then figuring out if they align with you and do so enough to want them to get off the couch and then go vote. Like, it's a multi-layered process. And unfortunately, Donald Trump is doing that better than Kamala Harris's team. We ain't got to like it. We can talk about democracy is at stake, and it is. We could talk about the potential loss of rights even more so than our grandparents had. Yes, that's a realistic possibility. But by and large, people want something to vote for and not something to vote against. And it doesn't matter how many times Vice President Harris says, Donald Trump, ... something crazy, something negative, something ugly. That just makes them not want to vote for him. Maybe, but they're still going to go research to validate what she may have said. And even if they say, I don't want to vote for Donald Trump, guess what? That still don't mean they're going to vote for her. And that's the part that she and people around her and so many people within DNC leadership miss, is that people cannot like the opponents on the other side. That still doesn't entice them to vote for you. And that's the gap that they still have yet to fill.
Perfect example is Biden and when it was Biden and Trump. A lot of people were saying that I don't like Trump, but I'm just not going to vote this election because they didn't feel comfortable. They didn't want to vote Biden. They knew they didn't like Trump, but they didn't want to vote Biden either. So
I agree with that. So we have something that's called the presidential primary. It usually happens between February and April in most states. In Tennessee, I believe it was in March this year. And they had a list of options. Uncommitted was one. And this was before what we recognize as the uncommitted movement, centrally located in Michigan around the Israel-Palestinian war and people's thoughts around that. This was also people who were just uncommitted to, I don't like neither one of them. So I voted uncommitted. I've said this in multiple spaces. I have no shame about it because I didn't want either one of them. And at that time, there weren't the whole list of other options on my ballot based on how this state operates ballot access. Now, with that said, a lot of people thought Joe Biden was going to make it to the November ballot. I wish I could, and I'm going to find it at some point. But I was, if not the first, I was definitely, I'm going to say one of the first 3 people anywhere in media. Y'all can go Google it, research, do whatever you got to do. They asked me on an international outlet, if Joe Biden is on the ballot in November, will you vote for him? And I said, I don't expect to see him on the ballot. Now, when I said it, I meant what I said. But when I got off air, I said, ooh, can I cuss on here?
Yeah.
do you?
I said, ooh, shit, hold up. Wait. I said, ooh. And I remember texting like 5 of my friends, wait, y'all, I said this out loud. I meant it, but wait, did I really put my foot in my mouth this time? But I really don't like my gut said, I'm not going to see him on there. And it wasn't 2 or 3 weeks later and he wasn't on the ballot. And I was like,
dang.
I called it and I couldn't believe it. And my political capital went up like overnight. And it was like, and people were like, yo, I remember when you said this and they was booking me like crazy. I was like, yo, like it really, really happened. And it was all the step aside. And now we did this. Yeah, you want to talk about one of the most unbelievable moments in my 38 years of life, because I could not believe that I had said it out loud and it happened. And now here we are with Harris and Trump, and people still do not like either of the top 2 options. But I wish that the country would have a bigger conversation about there being more than 2.
It's kind of funny that we brought up Joe Biden and your miraculous foresight on him no longer being the November ballot, because you also made a post where you said where you said, should age be a factor in so many words, right? In an election. And I'm just curious, what are your thoughts about that? Because a lot of people latched on to that rhetoric that Trump made about Sleepy Joe. And if there's one thing that sticks in people's minds, it's a slogan, right? It's that kind of thing. So what are your thoughts about age in an election? And then can you also speak on maybe Trump having potential health issues and things like that and how he hasn't been as forthcoming as people would think?
I definitely call him Sleepy Joe in my group chats, and it was very hard not to say it on TV. I ain't gonna lie. What's interesting about that is Donald Trump and conservative voters were using that against him, despite both of them being up in age. Both of them are 70 plus. But now what's interesting is Vice President Harris and other Democrats are now talking about Trump being up in age. And it's like, wait a minute, that's hypocritical, because just a few months ago, we were protecting Joe Biden and his age and his 50 plus years of service, and age was just a number, like Aaliyah told us a long time ago. It ain't nothing but, like, come on. Like, so now what they have done is taken what was used against them and tried to flip it. Here's the reality. I don't care how old they could be, 45. I think everybody that runs for president and their vice presidential nominee should take a cognitive test. Period. It's not to say that people who have mental health challenges or unique occurrences that they shouldn't be able to serve, but I want to know what I'm dealing with. And I think it's fair for millions of Americans to know what we are dealing with, so that we either know how to work with you, against you, or around you. So I'm going to say his failure to provide one, well, how can you be mad at Trump for not currently providing his medical records, but Vice President Harris was in office when President Biden was dealing with whatever he was and is currently dealing with? I understand protecting your boss, I guess, but who matters more, your boss or millions of the American people who helped to put you in office? And I think if she continuously purports country over party, but honey, you were protecting his mental stability or inability and clear cognitive decline when people had questions, and there were people from the hospital come to visit once a month. Like, we don't necessarily need to know what your blood work showed, but we do need to know that you're in good health and able to serve to the best of your ability. And that was a decision or clarity that was taken away from us as people who vote, live here, pay taxes, things like that.
Good. I mean, I get it. It's like you want to have an informed decision. You want to be able to make an informed decision. I know we got to get ready to move on to the next segment, but I got to ask this one more question. So, with making informed decisions comes the powerful responsibility of making a mature vote, right? And one of the things that's popped up recently is all of Donald Trump's felony convictions. And, you know, right now, especially in our community, the thing that people are talking about is, so you can't vote as a felon, but you can run for office, presidential office, as a felon. So do you have any thoughts about that?
So I think it is. So first of all, Donald Trump is not the first person to be convicted and run for president. There have been at least 2 others. And I think it's one thing to be, I guess, in litigation. It's another thing to be convicted. The reality is he is a white man of privilege that has been convicted, which is much different than a black man of privilege or a black man, period. So what this conversation should have been about was not necessarily him running for president as a convicted felon, but about the inability for people who do get felony convictions, for all these various reasons, and their ability to not be able to any longer participate in the political process despite decisions that are being made that affect them too. Whether you incarcerated or not, what you still got that felony conviction, and guess what? Those decisions that are being made all the way from the federal down to the local level still impact them. So what do you mean? Because I did this, now I can't vote, but you gonna be asking for my tax dollars if I get a job, but I don't get to decide what those taxes look like. It's crazy. That should have been the conversation, but instead what it became was, okay, he's a convicted felon, and if he was black, his life wouldn't be the same. That's correct. It wouldn't. But you know what he's saying? Well, that's not true, or that's a lie, and they've twisted the messaging around it. It would have been interesting to see a panel of black men that have been justice impacted and how they see themselves in the political process and what they think about it. That's not happening on anybody's TV screen or social media platform because they may see it as an opportunity to get somebody in the White House who understands exactly what they're going through. We, as somebody who's not just as impacted in that way, may go, no, brother, it ain't gonna be the same for you. But someone who's had that exact experience may say, well, now we got something to relate to, and they may make it better for us. Some people may feel they know better, but if this is about relating to somebody, it don't matter what the reason is. If you are a convicted felon, black, white, Asian, whatever you might be, that's what it is. It's just that he has more access and more money to live a more comfortable life. And that's what the conversation should have been centered around.
She's spitting gems. I hope y'all taking notes because, man, I am for sure. And I've always been somebody who, my undergrad degree is in political science. I'm in law school now. So, I mean, I love the political scene. I'm trying to be better versed. I want to be more better versed in the scene, and just having somebody like you who's knowledgeable, who I can learn from is just great. Great. I've been telling y'all, I've been wanting to have somebody like this on the podcast who knows about life, real life.
But guess who made it happen? Big Speaks. And speaking of Big Speaks, let's go into this other segment called Checked Out with Speaks. Right? I want to talk to y'all about everything that go off in my mind, right? I'm a heavy daydreamer. Anybody else daydreaming here like me? Probably not. Okay, but I can be in mid-conversation. I can be somewhere else.
But,
Oh, gosh. Don't bring it up again. When your birthday?
I'm a Gemini on the cusp of Cancer, so I'm a summer solstice, June 20th, baby.
I'm sorry for y'all. But if it ain't a Virgo, I don't know what y'all talking about.
Dun, dun, dun.
But no, I want to talk to y'all about some of the things that go on in my head, and we're gonna center it around politics, right? And I want to ask y'all this question: how much should politics, political beliefs, and all that matter when it comes to dating, marriage, or anything? Do you think it can? Do you think it can hinder a marriage from progressing? Let's say you was a Democrat. Let's say me and you were married, and you were a Democrat. I was a Republican. We were both Democrats at first, and I decided to change my ways. How much should that impact, or will it, or does it depend on the candidates?
To switch up in the middle of the marriage is crazy.
It happens. I just heard that not too long ago.
I know
crazy.
a couple of people that live in Shelby County that's got split households where one partner is Democrat, the other one is Republican. It's interesting. It makes for interesting table talk for sure.
But do you think it's enough to?
I think it depends on what the issue is, right?
That's what I was about to
if
say.
it's the economy or something financial, it may be a matter of what y'all spend y'all's money on, which may be less offensive than, say, family planning. So I think it depends on the issues and where y'all and what you willing to give in and compromise on. A marriage, regardless of what you believe independently, even if that means politically, is a compromise. Is you giving 100%, that person giving 100%, and y'all coming together. So politics is just one faction of that.
I think this election is what made people ask that question a lot more now, because the candidates their beliefs are so far away from each other. Even the stuff they agree on, they still disagreeing on about how to fix it. But I don't know, man. I don't think it should. I think it's what you said. I think it depends on the policies that we're discussing. Because if I'm saying that abortion should be banned, and you feel like, no, you can't tell me what to do with my body. That's gonna be a huge discussion because you're gonna vote against something that I don't believe in, and that could potentially harm our daughters or our nieces, and going down the generational line. So it's like it depends on what we're talking about. We're talking about stop and frisk, and you don't believe in that, and I believe in that. It's like, I don't know, like those real deep issues.
I'm also gonna say you should probably ask some questions before you get married, though.
Yeah, that's true. But in situations like you said, people change. People change over time. People change. People get older, and they change their mind with certain things during the marriage or during the relationship, and they may be influenced by somebody else to look at something different than they once were. I mean, it happens with religion too.
That's facts.
So you may be Christian, you may end up Muslim. It just happens over time. So a lot of people reevaluate their life at certain ages. So it's a tough spot to be in, though. I will say that.
Yeah, and I'll say that it seems like years and years and years ago, the divide wasn't as big as it is now. And it seems like with all of these issues, when it comes down to reproductive rights, when it comes down to like the traditional family and all, there's these really core beliefs on both sides, right? And it almost makes it to where it's impossible for people who are, I'll just use the term core believer of both sides. It almost makes it impossible for them to be able to make what they say, equally yoked union. It seems like, so, I mean, from my perspective, if you haven't already asked that question before you get into a relationship, it's probably not going to work, Jack. I mean, it's probably not.
I will push back on that, though. I think the divide was still as big, but I think a lot more people are open about who they vote for. It used to be a thing where people didn't really speak about.
People didn't talk about religion, money, and politics, and now more and more people are talking about it.
And if you were racist, I mean, a lot of people, it was more done on the business side of things, trying to X you out, other than, just speaking up and be like, I don't want this person. Like, it's a lot more open. I think with Trump, a lot of people are more vocal about what they believe in. And that's why it seems like the divide is like
he emboldened them.
Yeah, that's what I think it is.
He emboldened them. There are a lot of people who were very reserved in some of their beliefs or suppressed them for financial reasons, political reasons, employment reasons. But then once he made it okay, he gave people some fervor to say, he did it, I can do it too. And here we are, which in turn promoted the other side to say, well, I don't agree with that. And now this is what I believe in. So now you got more people than not talking about it. And they buying the shirts, the hats, putting the flags on their car, signs in their yard. You're seeing more and more of that.
They're proud
now. Yeah.
No shame. No, like it's just they're proud people.
I see what you did there.
So they don't have any shame about doing what they're, it's like I'm not gonna call it a gang, but it's like, just like you rapping what you rapping what you believe in. It's like nobody and I'm only gonna double down if you tell me I can't do it.
Yeah.
I just miss the time where people could like have differences in opinion and be able to talk through that dialogue.
Well, that's when they didn't talk about it at all.
But I know, but I'm just saying, like, nowadays, it's really difficult to be able to find a group of people that you can just sit down and talk to. I'll use this as an example, right? I was at Barnes & Noble. That's my study spot, plug. But I was at Barnes & Noble studying, right? Well, I need some stock. And this older white man walks up to me. He's in his 70s or so, right? And he walks over, and I'm studying. I'm in here, studying for law school or whatever. And the guy, he's like, I don't mean to bother you, man, but as a black man, and whenever somebody starts off, as a black man, you're like, oh, okay, where we going with this? But no, he was genuine. And he said, as a black man, I'm just curious about how do you feel about this election cycle? How you feel about the process and everything? And he came from a place of curiosity, a place from thought. And he really wanted to understand. First off, I told him I don't speak for all black men, but I can tell you my experience. But he came from a place of wanting to understand why do we tend to feel a certain kind of way about Trump. And then also he brought in the source of Obama saying that black men need to support Kamala. And one thing that I've heard from a lot of Republicans is why do they say that black men or a whole group of people should vote a certain kind of way because we wish everybody could be colorblind. But I say all that to say that I really hate that we can't have honest dialogue where people can come to you and actually talk to you and really try to figure out why you think the way you think, because ultimately I feel like that's a way that you can open somebody else's mind up to a thought that they may have been more conservative about. For example, we talked about reproductive rights, and I said that a woman's choice to be able to dictate what she does with her body shouldn't be based off of geography, right? You know what Trump wants to do is he says, oh, I'm not opposed to reproductive rights, right? Right. Even though there's Roe v. Wade and putting everybody on the court,
rights.
It's states' rights, right? This 10th Amendment, like the states should be able to do that. And that's a cop-out, right? It's a huge cop-out because now you're going to have a person in the South who is going to potentially need life-saving treatment who has to now migrate, 100, 200, 300 miles north to go do whatever they want to do. And I think just having that conversation with him opened up his mind because he had never thought about it that way. And that's just why it's almost like it's frowned upon to have these kind of dialogues, right? And I get the workplace, cool. You don't want to center a divide. Mm-hmm. But outside of that, I mean, friend groups break up over this kind of thing. I know you started off talking about relationships, but I'm just opening up broad.
No, go ahead.
But, families, regular friendships, all of that,
I think it's how you do it. I think it's one thing to be curious. And then it's another thing had you felt like he was having that conversation to be validated for whatever his belief was. And so I've had, they an elected official too. I have a friend, a former friend, who's an elected official now. And we actually had, a couple years ago, had a very big disagreement about something politically. And what I told them is that I believed the impact of their decision was going to be negative. And because I know this person, I knew how this decision was going to impact them and impact the world around them, and that their intent was bullshit. Their intent was, oh, I got to appease these people. And I said, no, you don't. And the situation was set up where she had the complete runway to do the right thing and chose not to. And the secondary impact of her decision was disrespect to me. And I was like, oh, we're not going to do this. It's not because she had a different opinion. It's because in so many words, she literally said the value of what she thought this chaotic representation was more important than respect for me, and came to me for my opinion. So that's where we got to understand the intent versus the impact. The intent was, oh, well, I just want to do this, but you don't have to, sis. You don't have to. And the impact was, not only did you lose your friend and disrespect me, somebody you say you care about, is that now people in the community know you move different. And trust me, it's had a ripple effect. But yeah, so I've been there before, but I have a lot of friends of various parties, and we talking sometimes it's tense. We done had some intense conversations live on TV. So much so, and they done wiped the screen with one, and I was like, "Ooh, I don't know how this gonna go." And then it was another one on a really big night, and I was a little tight, and I was like, baby, I done read about you, honey. I done looked you up. I know where this coming from. So it's not just what you telling me at this table. I know what the backstory is. So don't talk to me like we just here. No, I know all of this. So it can get tight, but I tell people, you can have a conversation and disagree with somebody without disrespecting them. But when it becomes disrespect, then we got a whole different ball game.
Facts.
Agreed.
Man, that's word. You got anything?
I agree.
You heard that. Well, I guess it's time to get on to the next segment. Everybody, welcome back to another segment of Fact or Fable. I am your host, D. Norvell. And I'm going to explain the game to you because we like to play this game. And it's a very easy game, right? And we are doing Politics Edition today on Fact or Fable. So Fact or Fable is a game where I, your host, D. Norvell, give you a list of facts or fables, right? Okay. And a list of statements, and you have to tell me whether or not they are indeed facts or fables.
Oh, wow.
Make sense?
Oh yeah.
Any questions?
I like to add, I never lose.
Oh.
So
He always loses.
Okay.
He always loses.
me and Jay tied last time though. So
No.
But I always win, pretty much.
prove it.
I mean, it's just the truth. You do kind of suck.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's always
so
one-sided. That's crazy.
are y'all ready?
Let's get it.
All right. Fact or fable number 1, politics edition. Donald Trump has never been a member of the Democratic Party. Fact or fable?
Fable.
Okay. Anybody?
Has never been.
Has never
Fable.
been. Fable.
I think it's a fable. And don't be saying your answer based on what she says either.
I go first. I ain't scared.
Okay.
Yeah.
We might have to make that adjustment.
Yeah.
All
But we
right.
could just let them go so we don't have to keep going back and forth with the mic.
It's all good.
You ready to lose?
Drum roll, please.
That's crazy. Jay did the drum roll last time. Do it again.
That is a fable. Y'all know that Trump was a registered Democrat in several different times throughout the years. And I don't really know. Do you know how
She
he
said
just
she don't
kind of
know.
landed into the Republican Party? I don't know how he did that.
I used to know the story. I don't recall it right now, but they've talked about it in the media. So
Yeah, I just assume it was opportunity, but I do know that he was a registered Democrat across the years. All right.
Probably business wise.
Maybe. Opportunity money. Yeah, fact or fable number 2. Kamala Harris is a graduate of Yale Law School.
Fable.
fable.
HBCU.
Okay.
She went to Howard and then she went to somewhere in San Francisco for law school.
Okay. Drum roll, please. Well, in Kamala Harris's official biography, she said true. I don't know.
Kamala Harris is
That's
capping.
that's what it says. In Kamala Harris's official biography,
that one.
it said
I don't
true.
remember her going to Yale.
She don't rap it.
Look, I'm just telling you what the
Yeah, she doesn't.
this is what the data says.
She doesn't talk about Yale.
Fact check. Put the fact check on the screen.
Okay.
That's what
That
I'm gonna do.
Wikipedia?
Put the fact check. No, this ain't Wikipedia. But put a why?
Yeah, like
I mean, we know why she doesn't rap going.
Nah,
to Yale, baby.
rap your school.
Yeah,
Rap all of them.
You never
I'm
know.
from Yale.
You never know. Maybe she wanted to be
Okay.
more relatable.
All right, we
Maybe she
won. We
wanted to
won
be
one.
More relatable. Okay. Fact or fable number 3. Donald Trump once hosted a television show where he judged contestants on their business skills.
Facts.
facts.
Okay. Do you
The
know the name of
Apprentice.
this? Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Oh, no,
Okay.
that's
I didn't even
easy.
get to the drum roll. They got that right. Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Man, give us
Okay.
a challenge. It's
You-
too easy for us.
Oh, you want a challenge?
We study
Is
politics.
this all national politics, by the way? I'm just curious.
Yeah. No,
Okay,
We're just
all
politics.
right.
Politics. Just,
I'm just saying you
Too
got
easy.
state
Just-
stuff, you
just
got
the pres-
local stuff.
yeah.
Okay.
We're just keeping it the presidential race
All right.
for the people. You advanced. We trying to get there. you advanced. We trying to work our way up. You wanted a difficult one. All right. Fact or fable number 4. Donald Trump has a pet iguana named Iggy.
Fable.
I feel like that's
Fact.
true. I feel like that's true.
Okay. You got one
That's
true.
fact.
You
Fact.
got-
I feel like
you got
that's a
fact.
fact.
And you got a fable?
He don't take care of it anyway.
Okay. Drum roll, please. That's the fable.
Let's go.
Oh,
He
yeah.
seemed like he was saying. He seemed like he
does
would
seem like
have
him.
something like
It's
yeah,
Iggy. This is Iggy. He's a very
yeah, like
mild-
he do. He seemed like he would have something like that.
No, he has a dog, but
Is
he doesn't have any
T-Sweet's
iguana.
winning for the first time?
But that can't happen.
Everybody got to get a day to get something great.
It's actually my second win.
That's true. That's true. All right. Fact or fable number 5. Let's see if we can tie it up. Kamala Harris has a background in sports journalism.
Fable.
That's a fable.
Okay.
Well, we didn't know she went to Yale. I ain't telling what she did at Yale, apparently.
Oh, maybe she did that.
Might have been a broadcaster.
That is a fable. Yeah, Kamala Harris official biography is the same source as the Yale Law School, so hopefully it's the truth. Okay, we're gonna do the last one. Are y'all ready?
Okay.
All right. yeah, I like talking to the people. I just imagine that they're talking back to me. That's what it is. One day we're gonna get on live television. Is what we're gonna do. Or live
We're bringing you
broadcasting.
back for the live television.
You got to.
Okay.
Absolutely. Fact or fable? The last one. Donald Trump has never held a government office before his presidency.
Fact.
Never ran.
Never held an office.
Fact.
That's fact. He ran though.
Did he? What did he run for?
It was. I want to say it was 2000s, wasn't it? He ran.
Drum
before.
roll, please.
Brrrr.
That's a fact. Yeah, he's never held a political office.
Did I just win?
Good job. Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
First of all,
I'm
I'd like to thank
hesitant.
God.
Because he changed his
Without
answer.
being
He did.
Right.
I feel like that. Well, we all know who's
A
better.
win is a win.
It doesn't matter. That's your first
And
win.
my second, actually.
No.
I beat Shaniqua.
You did beat Shaniqua.
And I beat Jay.
You can't be beating all of our guests. You never beat Jay. You cannot be beating all of our guests.
I'm sorry.
We're gonna give her the honorary win.
They don't let me win.
That's what
Black man in America.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
Exactly.
Crazy.
Well, I guess we have to move on to our next segment, right?
Oh, give me 3 seconds. I want to go slid into that joint. We got the beat ready?
As soon as you're ready.
Let's get it. We call this segment J Money, please.
This is J Money segment.
Where we decompress.
Not decompose.
How do you was gonna say it?
That's what she says, decompose. Hey.
We go like
J Money, please. Keep the P.
Please.
J Money, please.
Please.
Keep the P. You know that she want it, she want it. You know that she own it, she own it. You know that she Hey, what they say? Hey,
J Money,
please keep the P.
J Money.
Need it. No, I need it.
You know that she want it, she want it.
You know that she
Want it, she want it. Want it, she want it.
What's poppin', Juice Gang? Thank you for tuning in to another segment of J Money. Please keep the peace.
Please.
So this is the time of the episode where we wind down. We get towards the end. So I want everybody to take a deep breath. Be calm. Yes. So today's segment, of course, we're going to do it around politics. So I just have a quick question for you guys. Not going to keep you too long because we are at the end. How do you keep the peace or balance out, like, I guess, all the background noise in what you do? So how do you balance it out? Let me try to, say this the correct way. So a lot of people are telling you what you should think. There's the facts, there's noise in the background. People telling you why she think that way because the color of your skin. So with all that going around, how do you know what to speak on? And how do you keep calm in those types of situations? Because I feel like I would go crazy. What do I say? If I go on live TV, what do I say? What I shouldn't say? Because people are expecting me to be this type of way, but this is what I believe in. But these are the facts.
I actually don't ask for people's input about what I say. I may ask somebody how they feel about something or one of the topics that's coming up, but I don't say, "Oh, what should I say about this?" I might say, "Hey, I have a friend that's an immigration attorney. Hey, what do you think about the immigration policy from this person?" and take that and formulate a response that aligns with what I think. But how I shut out the noise, I don't read the comments. So when the clips go up on these respective networks and news sources pages, if it's on social media, I really don't. Now, sometimes with Twitter, I'll get the alerts and I don't necessarily know whether they're good or bad. So I kind of quickly scroll through, but I do not get wrapped up in the comments. Now, when people get into the DMs and the inbox and all that stuff, I read them because I never know where it's going to go and I have to read in its entirety. But I really try not to respond, which is very, very hard for me because my career is built off of response. But a lot of times,
I like how you just said that.
Yeah, I don't respond now. Sometimes, I had a elder Black lady from somewhere else in the country, and she was like, "How can you think about this, this, and this?" And I said, "Hold up." I said, "Did you listen to the segment?" "Well, I just saw you in that you was a Democrat." You didn't listen to the segment. I would suggest that you go and listen to the segment and then you can circle back to me. Have a great day. But that's as good as it gets, because if I get wrapped up in responding to one, I'm going to respond to them all and I'm going to have a headache. And that's something I told myself when I started on this path, is that I'm not going to get lost in the comments. And often I will share positive comments that people had, but now if they come real crazy on some racist stuff, I share them too, so that people know, hey, this is what's being said. Sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's good. As far as what I do for myself, y'all got this candle in here, I'll be at home, I'll light a candle all day long. I light that junk to let me all the way down. I'm really on some candle stuff. I drink a lot of tea. I eat real good. I do mean real good. I eat a lot. I light a candle. I listen to music. I'll be in the house by myself with earphones in the ear. So it's just that's literally tuning it out. That's what I do. And me and Dr. Teals get it in a couple times a week on some good soaks, but that's for me. And I just, I do things to keep me grounded. I'll go and do an escape room. I'll go to the movies on Tuesdays because it's cheaper then. I'll do stuff that's super normal and regular. Like I was saying earlier, You know, sometimes when I do in studio stuff, I just go get me something to eat. Like I'm just I think I'm a regular person.
Mm-hmm.
I just do super dope stuff. But I still, you know, sleep, eat, shit like everybody else, you know?
Mhm.
So I do things to keep me normal because I know the further I go, it's going to be harder and I have to isolate myself in that way to protect my mental space and my physical space.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad you asked me that because here's what I experience a lot now. White women specifically like to touch my hair at the airport.
Mm.
It's been a thing.
I know, like it's.
a long time.
I'm saying like almost every time, and they don't ask for permission. This is not. Oh, I like your hair. It's so nice. It's pretty. It's curled. Whatever it is, it's just literally reaching over and touching me, touching my hair, and it's very unnerving. I don't like people just to touch me. Period. I don't like. It doesn't matter what your ethnicity is. And it really gets me heated because I'm very much, you can transfer energy. I don't know where you put your hands. So I'm gonna count to 10, count the sheep, do whatever I gotta do for real.
1, 2, 3,
I know that
4,
was
4,
longer
3,
than
2,
you
1.
expected, but
No,
but yeah,
that's
that's kind of how I situate myself.
Like I have to pause in the moment to really just step back. Yeah,
We just talked about that.
I have to practice that.
She working on it.
It's hard though. It takes discipline, but I promised myself that if God positioned me to let this take off, I was gonna commit to that. And it has worked for me so far. And I know the higher up I go, the harder it's gonna get. So if I stay grounded in that way now, it will continue to transition as I transition and elevate.
You care about yourself too much to let yourself crash out like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's people depending on me. Like it means something for me for somebody to tell me they inspired by me, they motivated by me, they understood something because I take that very seriously. Because people ain't got to watch you. They ain't got to listen to you. They ain't got to support you. They ain't got to cash up you $50 to go have dinner. They don't have to do that. So if people think enough of me in the space that I've chosen to walk in, I take that for real.
Take it serious.
Yeah.
God positioned you. You got to be responsible with it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're wrapping up, getting to the end of the show here. But before we leave, if there was one message that you could leave for the viewers, either it be about your platform or about the selection cycle, whatever it could be. If you had one message you could get out and leave to the people, what would you say?
Find you a reason to go vote. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. And as much as I would like you to vote the entire ballot, do some research. If you feel like the office of the presidency is something that gives you a little too much headache, if you live in the state of Tennessee, there's a U.S. Senate race on the ballot. There are state representatives, state senators, and all politics are local. And there's a pipeline from local all the way up to federal. So as much as I want you to vote for everything on the ballot, I would prefer for you to vote your conscience in a way that you can sleep at night. But please get off that couch. If you're not just voting for you, you're not just even voting because your ancestors, because you might not be black, so you might not say ancestors, fought and died for the right for you to vote. You have to vote for people who are under the age of 18 and they cannot vote, but they will be impacted by decisions around colleges and universities or the ability to get loans or grants if they want to be an entrepreneur. You have to vote for those who are just as impacted and cannot vote anymore. You have to vote for those who have some other different ability and cannot vote for you. So you're not just voting for yourself, you vote for yourself, your neighbor, those who can't vote, those who fought for your right to vote, those who are not legally eligible to vote. And you voting to make the world a better place all around you.
Oh, man. Well, y'all heard it here first. Y'all heard it here first. If you don't have a plan, come up with a plan and then meet somebody else to help them come up with a plan. Simple as that, right? It don't take you long at all to get up and go do it.
It literally takes 2 seconds. Because like half of y'all don't even know the other people outside of the Kamala Harris and Donald Trump anyway. But I will say, like you said, do your research. Even do your research on Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. Even if don't just vote because you're black or because you're white or because you're something. Know what you're voting for.
Right. And how it's going to impact you. Absolutely. Because these years, 4 years from now,
That's
you
a
don't
long time.
Right, for real. And 4 years can turn into 8 years, right? Or Donald Trump's case, just 4 years. But yeah, for real. So great. Anything else?
Who got the juice?
We got the juice.
I think we got the juice. You want to do the song? We can
Nope.
do the song. You want to do the song? You want to do the song?
I'm gonna say I can sing. Watch this.
Okay, let's go.
I call this Eric Bonet. You feel me?
If you can't sing, I'ma howl like a wolf right on this mic.
Do it. I dare you. No, he can sing. I got it. He can sing.
I lost my confidence.
Get ready to howl.
Who got the juice, man? Who got the juice?
I got the juice. I got the juice.
That was subpar.
I thought
Juice
that was
901.
good.
Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all comment and subscribe.
Hey.
Bye.
Bow.